Hello and welcome to Mom's Drunk. I'm Ramu.
And I'm Steven.
And as we said, this is Mom's Drunk.
So I just hit the table.
How have you been doing? What have you been up to? It's been about 3 weeks since everyone has seen us last.
Right. Well, like, let's see, what have I been doing? This past weekend, obviously not today.
Right.
But like,
Weekend before.
last weekend, I went to New York and that was a lot of fun. And I got to see Demi Lovato and a night with Demi.
That's exciting.
It was a lot of fun.
Good.
It was, yeah. For free. I didn't have to pay for that.
Wait, how did that work?
Yeah, well, the friend that I was staying with, his friend does stuff for her label.
Oh.
And so we got tickets.
So, friends in high places.
Yeah. It was
That's
nice.
good.
So now I've been listening to Demi Lovato's new CD nonstop.
I don't think I've heard her ever sing. Unless she had that. Did she have a song about like being beautiful?
Maybe.
Or like something like "We're all beautiful" or something. I don't know. I think she had a song like that.
She might have.
It was on the radio.
But I'll play a little in a sec.
Okay.
But anyway, so that was fun. That was a lot of. The whole trip was good. And then on the way home, I went and got the bus, and then when I was waiting in line and we were all starting to call up, the actual bus itself wasn't even a mega bus. It was some other regular sized bus, so it wasn't even a double decker.
Oh, I didn't realize they were double deckers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they're sort of spacious. They're nice. But this was just a regular Greyhound sort of bus that was just one level, and so everyone got in, and the bus driver immediately once everyone in was like, "Oh, we don't have internet." And so I was like, "All right." And he was like, "Oh, and there are outlets in every other seat." And so of course my seat didn't have it. Plus I was sitting on the outside of the aisle, so that was no fun. But anyway, so we were driving through New York, through the actual streets and stuff. And about it was an hour and we weren't even on the highway yet. And at one point, the bus driver was trying to take a right, and a cop told him no. So then he was and I assume the bus driver knew he was talking out loud.
The bus driver was talking out loud, or the police officer?
No. What the bus driver says next.
Oh, okay.
That I didn't say yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm prefacing the whole situation,
Okay.
By assuming that he was talking out loud.
Uh-huh.
Not just to himself.
Right.
Or he was talking to himself out loud.
Got it.
Right. And so he was to the police officer, he was like, "I'm gonna punch you in the face, you faggot, and go back to Afghanistan."
Oh God! Did he get arrested?
No, the cop didn't even see him because the door was closed.
Oh, so he wasn't saying it to the cop.
Well, he was saying it to the cop, but the door was closed. Yeah,
right.
So he didn't hear him. So I was like, oh. I was kind of offended.
Right.
And so, I wrote a strongly worded email to
Good.
Megabus, but I haven't heard back yet. So
Megabus, if you're watching.
Yeah, right. They're watching.
You're on watch. We're watching you, Megabus.
Yeah. So that wasn't fun. So I'm waiting to hear back from them, and I wonder if I will. Not that I'm probably never use them again now. I mean,
right. And I will never use them, even though I probably never would.
Right.
But,
so
yes.
But anyway, so yeah, that. But the whole trip was fine, and I mean, the rest of the trip, back home, was fine once we got on the highway. But I was just still sort of seething from the bus driver.
Right. I would have been.
And
did you write your letter while you were sitting on the Megabus?
Oh, I wrote I was quoting him on my phone, and I was crafting my letter via my iPhone.
No, I want to write them a letter. They should get bombarded with letters now.
Everyone should write a letter.
Write a letter to Megabus.
I'm surprised maybe more people did, because I assume half the front of the bus had to have heard him say that. But anyway.
It was a white guy?
No.
A white driver? A black guy driver?
Yeah.
Fucking why? I hate when my people does shit like that. Because then it's come on. One other thing I have to defend us for.
Right.
But I'm not going to defend this guy.
Right. So anyway, so yeah, that was that. But anyway, so all this other stuff happened. And then anyway, so let's put a little, let's see if you can.
Oh, Demi Lovato.
Yeah. So this is a little. This is Demi's new single.
Oh, okay.
Skies are crying, I'm watching, catching teardrops in my hands. Only
And then in this part of the concert,
Right.
so she like started playing, and then she like stopped, and then she was like, "Listen, everyone, I'm really so happy that you're here." And she like went on, and then she went back into the song, and it was just like a powerful moment.
That's good. Good. I bet people were crying. I bet she had a lot of people.
Oh my god, they were
crying.
like, they're all tweens.
Not a dry eye in the house, I bet.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
No.
Good for
I mean,
her.
I had tears.
Good. How does she look? Is she looking good? Is she looking healthy?
Well, from the balcony where I
She
was
looked
sitting,
good.
she looked fine. I was in like
Good.
the last seat in the balcony, so
Okay. That's still good.
yeah, but it was good.
The Scoop.
Like, so the Emmys were on Sunday, and then we had a bunch of like premieres.
Week. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about some of your favorite premieres?
Sure. Well, I'm talking about Grey's Anatomy. I will say this. Okay, Grey's Anatomy, the premiere was 2 hours. I thought it was probably like too much. Like, it did not need to be 2 hours. And after the first hour, I was like, ugh, you know, because it just didn't seem that exciting. And I guess I'm just like I don't care about, because there was a lot, I guess, usually I'll go back and like watch the last episode from the last season. And I didn't do that with this one. And then I just was kind of lost, and I was like, I don't remember what is happening with any of these people. And then felt bad that I probably should have watched like the season finale from last season. But maybe that's why I wasn't into the characters as much. But then second hour, it got better. And of course, like, there is something about Grey's Anatomy, like, they rip your heart out. Like, that's the only way to describe it. Like, of course, I went through a whole hour and a half, like, not giving a shit about these people at all. And then was, like, sobbing by the last 5 minutes. So I think they just, you know, the writers, Shonda Rhimes, they have a way of doing that to you. Like, I think it's a combination of, like, the characters and, like, the way they're acting and the music just makes you cry. So, of course, I cried because the baby got taken away. Like, the cute little brown baby got taken away.
That was Meredith's baby.
Meredith and McDreamy's baby. And
It was adopted? Or
they're in the
foster?
process of adopting it. And then the adoption lady, the social worker, found out that they were separated, and Meredith got fired. So, but then rehired, of course. Like, nothing bad ever happens to Meredith Grey, which is another annoying thing about her. But
she should have tried.
it was really sad because they showed, like, everyone was mad at Karev because Karev got Meredith fired because he got drunk and told everyone, like, yo, she fucked up the trial, like, she was messing with the trial. So everyone hated him for a whole 2 hours. And then at the end, he came and, like, was the one walking Meredith, like, out, like, being the shoulder to cry. It was really great.
That sounds really good.
I liked it. I thought it was good. Whatever. I am excited for the season. I think it's going to be a good season. No one else cares. I understand that. Okay.
It's true, I don't.
Second thing I thought was really great. Two broke girls. I know everyone probably thinks I drank like the Malls Kool-Aid, which I did. Whatever. But I thought it was great. I thought it was... Because I think when you do kind of like know people who might be involved in a show, you kind of think you're probably just going to be totally biased, like, going into watching it. But I thought the writing was really good. There were some jokes that I thought maybe went on a little too long, like the whole opening.
Yeah.
I thought was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable for me. I thought it went on like a little too long. But it's a pilot. You know, most pilots are not fantastic. I thought this was very good for a pilot.
Yeah.
Kat Dennings, I'm like excited to see her on TV. Some of the writing, I thought, like, watching it, you could kind of like see Molly. You know, like
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that sounds like something that sounds very Molly. So I really enjoyed it. I liked it.
I like the blonde actress. I
Right.
think her real name's Beth something.
Beth something, yeah.
But I thought she was good. And she hasn't really been in much. I googled her.
Right, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who she is.
She's done like a couple things, but not much.
Well, good for her.
But yeah, I thought that was funny. And
But at the ending, didn't you think? Because they're all like the whole thing is that they're looking for money to start this cupcake thing.
Yeah.
And they got a horse, and I was like, fucking sell the horse.
Right.
Like, there's your down payment for your cupcake business.
Yeah. I thought she had mentioned something about that, but
Really? I'm not gonna do it.
I kind of thought I'd hate the horse, like
Right.
being there, like stupid a horse in Williamsburg.
Horse, yeah.
But I kind of thought it was funny.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I liked it too. one of my favorite things this past week, though, was Nancy Grace on Dancing with the Stars.
I don't watch that show, but I can imagine her
Yeah.
being fantastic on
It was just like, she was showing her twins, and not just her, like, actual two babies, like her, you know, her twins. She had, like, a low-cut dress.
Really?
And she was, like, shaking it, yeah. And, like, I heard a lot of people, like, calling her, like, tit mom.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's good for her.
Right.
You know?
But it's fun, and she didn't get kicked off.
Okay.
Spoiler, sorry.
Do people like her? Do you know? Like,
Oh.
on the show. Do people like her on the show?
I think they sort of
Yeah.
do. It's hard to tell.
Because people vote. It's like the...
Yeah.
Right.
I missed, like, the actual voting show.
Right.
I mean, I know who got voted off, but I don't remember who was, like, in the bottom two.
Oh,
I don't think she
okay.
was, though. The other thing I had, like, mentioned on our last show was that Ringer
Oh, right.
was, like, one of my, like, I love Sarah Michelle
Gellar.
Gellar. And I totally thought, like, her show was going to be amazing. And it was amazingly awful.
Really?
Oh my god, it was so
Why?
bad. Like, the green screening was bad, and there was, like, horrible acting. I was
About
like,
her acting.
it was not good.
Oh, really?
No, nothing was good
That's
about
too
it.
bad.
Yeah, there was nothing redeeming about it. I watched the first episode and the second episode, and then I removed it from my TV watching
Oh,
schedule.
really?
I just can't do it.
When is it on?
Um,
Do you remember?
I think it's on Tuesday nights.
Okay. There's
I
other
think.
good TV on Tuesdays.
Yeah, there's plenty
Yeah.
of stuff to watch. Yeah, and so, like, speaking of, like two of the last shows we'll talk about that we both really liked was Up All Night.
I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. And,
Mhm.
I mean, we obviously love Maya Rudolph.
Of course.
She's amazing, and you'll see in a couple minutes
How much we love her.
how much we love her. So that's a little teaser for you. But I thought it was funny. It was well written. I think it,
I agree.
and, like, especially if you have kids, I think it makes it gives it, like, an extra level of funny. But I think even if you don't have kids, it's still funny, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
'cause
I
you
don't have kids.
Right.
So I thought it
So,
was really funny. In
so-
Maya Rudolph, I do wish she had like a bigger part in the first episode, but you say in the second episode
yeah,
she does. Yeah.
they upped her, like, her role. and
Right.
she's-
Which they should have. She's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was funny.
Good.
And then speaking of funny, it's Always Sunny.
Right.
It's been
Hilarious.
2 episodes so far this season, and both of them have been, like, so on point. Like, this last episode may have been, like, one of the funniest ones that I've ever seen.
They like took it to another level, I think, in
Yeah.
the second episode. It was
Oh, yeah.
like, because usually the whole point is like them getting into these like really crazy situations, but this was like over the top
Yeah.
crazy, like more illegal than anything they've ever done before.
Right.
So it was
Yeah.
good.
And don't you think, like, all of a sudden now, like, ever since they allowed, like, some swear words on TV
Right.
shows, it's, like, nonstop. Like,
Yes.
like, every other word was, like, shit and
Yeah,
bitch.
I love that they can say shit on that show.
Right. It just made, like, yeah.
It was good, and they had like a gay sex scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I'm surprised that they showed that on TV.
I know, and
yeah.
it was pretty graphic.
Yeah, it was
like
pretty
two
graphic.
homeless
You definitely
guys,
saw
so-
like a butt,
Yeah.
but you saw a butt and thrusting.
Yeah, and they
So-
were old homeless guys, so it was even
It was-
grosser.
And Charlie was really upset about it.
Yeah.
And I love the scene between Charlie and the waitress.
Oh, yeah, that was
And
so good.
she was like clearly pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
With Charlie's baby.
Right.
So it was a great scene, and I was like upset that it didn't work out for Charlie.
I know. But she's
Right.
on New Girl.
Right, she is. I thought she was good on New Girl.
And there's just one last thing. I know we didn't
sure.
write about it, but like Parks and Recreation this
I
past
don't
week,
watch it. I should, right?
it was like their like first episode of the season was just like about the most perfect 30 minutes of television I've seen in like so long.
Really? That's what I
Yeah.
heard. I heard a lot of very good,
Yeah.
like, good things about
It
it.
was so good. And Amy Poehler, like we already talked about her like for a while.
Great.
And she's just so good. And like everyone was so good in that episode.
Is Aubrey Plaza on that show?
Yeah.
I like her a lot,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
she
should
was
probably
good,
watch
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like her. She's still like the same sort of like character she is in
Right.
real life she is on the show, but
Oh, okay.
a little better because
Right.
someone writes for her.
Good. That's
Maybe.
good.
I don't know.
I should watch it though.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's I mean we could really talk a lot more.
Yes. About TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were shows that I didn't talk about that I really liked, but
Yeah.
it's only a 15-minute show.
items of the week.
Last time we did like, technical items. I did like a speaker, Steven did camera.
Yeah.
This, just like 4 hours ago,
Oh,
we...
and can I, like...
Sure.
I actually did take pictures with my camera.
Oh, you did? Good.
And, I, like, developed them. And there are a few on my Tumblr that I put up there that, like, I
Good.
didn't mind.
Okay, good. So it was a good purchase.
Yeah. So you can
Good.
check them out. They're on my Tumblr.
Good.
You can find it off to the side of a thing somewhere. Anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a few there. And they're, like, tagged with 35mm.
Oh, actually, I did notice
Yeah.
those. Okay.
So I did actually take pictures with it.
Good. That was the plan.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
And I'm still doing it. I just need to get more film.
Okay, good.
But go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
So like you were saying.
Yeah, so like 4 hours ago at 12:25 it was, we
Exactly.
saw Drive, and it was, I don't know what I was expecting, but
Yeah,
it was
I
just
didn't-
not what I expected
I
at
tried
all.
to read so little about it, so I
Right,
would go
me
into
too.
it with not knowing too much.
I know, last night I almost watched like Miles' and Sarah's little recap of it, but I was like, because then she put spoilers, so I was like, oh, I
Right.
can't watch it. But, it was so good. It was so good.
Yeah.
Basically, like, let's talk about how Ryan Gosling wore a satin Cobra Kai jacket for 2 hours, and, like, I'm still into it. Like, I still want to do Ryan Gosling.
Right.
And,
Did you
like,
see
for 45 minutes of it, there was blood all over it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
the Did you see him on Conan this week?
No.
Oh, he gave
Was it good?
Conan
The jacket?
the jacket.
The Cobra Kai
it's,
jacket?
It's a different color and stuff, but he gave it to him. It was
That's
really fun.
nice.
Yeah, you
That's
have to
fine.
Google
I'll
it if
watch
you
it.
haven't seen it. But yeah, he was really good on that.
Yeah. He's, like, totally creepy in the movie. Like,
But he was
the lack of dialogue makes him creepy, and, like, his staring is creepy, and the fact that you know so little about him, he's just a creepy man.
right,
basically.
and he didn't even have a name. His
Right.
name was just
Driver.
Yeah. But I just love the whole like silence of it.
Right.
That there was like so little dialogue through the whole movie really,
Mhm.
and there's just a lot of like, and I like love the night scenes of LA and just him driving and
Right.
and Bryan Cranston was in it from
good.
Breaking Bad. And
Yeah.
I love Breaking Bad. And I could talk about that for a while too, but we're talking about Drive now, and yeah, Bryan Cranston was really good in that. I liked him,
Mhm.
and the one thing that like I like whispered to Ramu while we were watching the movie was that like Albert Brooks didn't have any eyebrows.
Right, he didn't.
I
He
thought that was
didn't.
really weird. Like I don't know if he like normally doesn't have eyebrows, or he like got rid of them for the role.
That would be odd
Yeah,
if he did.
just like a weird
Let me
choice.
I'm gonna Google Albert Brooks and see if he like normally doesn't have eyebrows.
yeah.
But
Yeah, so that was totally weird. But I really
he doesn't really have eyebrows.
oh, maybe he pencils them in?
Yeah, because that looks a little penciled in.
Yeah.
Those are like, yeah, I
Right.
don't think he normally
Maybe
has
we'll
eyebrows.
pop a picture up there so
Okay.
you can see it in our thing.
Lack of
anyway.
eyebrows. Yeah.
But anyway, also I really loved Carey Mulligan.
Yeah, she's really cute.
I
Her boy was really, really cute.
yeah, like the relationship between all of them, like they. And I think like we watched like Molly and Sarah's video too, and they also mentioned about how like there was chemistry between them, and they
Right.
like barely
didn't
said
speak.
anything to each other. They just like looked at each other, and it was just
Right.
like you knew that there was stuff going on.
And I thought the lack of dialogue also like made it really scary. Like I get really scared when
Right.
you're like don't know what's gonna happen. So there are parts where I was like, it's quiet, like someone's obviously getting like stabbed in the head with a hammer. So
Right. Yeah,
I
that
like
scene,
was
like-
bracing myself for like someone to get stomped or stabbed or like
Yeah.
pummeled with a hammer. So
It was so graphic.
it was more
in
more
certain
than I thought it would
scenes.
be.
Than
Yeah.
like because I didn't expect that to like happen
Right.
at all, and I didn't even like not until after we were driving back from the movies that like I was IMDbing the director of the film.
Oh, yeah.
And we like looked up some of his stuff, and I've seen Bronson. That's with like Tom Hardy, and that was really violent.
Oh, I heard about. Actually, is he a fighter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard of this movie.
Yeah. So like once I realized that he did that, this film made a lot more sense.
Right.
And then like I guess some of his other films are very like similar
yeah.
graphic violence.
And he himself got like thrown out of school for like throwing a table or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, the
So he's
director,
probably
yeah.
like a violent man himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just channeling that violence
Good.
into good
I would
films.
rather do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go see it. You should
Yeah.
definitely go see it.
So for this week, our screen test, we did one of our favorite SNL sketches, which is like one of their commercials that was a Geico commercial, like
Right.
a mock Geico commercial
With Maya Rudolph.
with Maya Rudolph. Like we mentioned that earlier, that we love Maya Rudolph. And so yeah, here's our screen test.
I was late for my midterms, so needless to say, I was kind of in a rush.
In other words, he felt the need for speed. Like I felt the need to freebase cocaine off a hot waffle iron. But mama don't do that no more. Mama is free! Woo!
It was raining, and I started to hydroplane. I lost control of my SUV.
I lost control of my bowels. And my mind. When I passed Bobby Brown in a hot tub with 3 hoopty-hoopties from a Jay-Z vidya.
I thought I was going to have to postpone my exams.
That's when I got in my SUV. I threw that sucker in reverse and drove backwards all the way to Dionne Warwick's house.
Geico took care of everything immediately, and I passed sociology.
I passed Bobby Brown the other day, and I threw a bag of old chicken McNuggets at his head. Ain't it shocking what love can do?
Well, that was another episode of Mom's Drunk. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it.
We do. Sorta. As long as you're watching and got this far.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.